Happy December, everyone. Today, this is the Martha Speaks Storytime Collection. I'm borrowing this right away, and after I read the first story, I'm going to log out of Internet Archive because I don't want to be caught getting scared again. Anyways, we're going to read the first story called Martha Speaks. It was written and illustrated by Susan Mehta. It's published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. Copyright 1992. We'll be reading the first story today. This story is called Martha Speaks. For the Finneys. I hope that soup is gone when I come back in there. The day Helen gave Martha Dog her alphabet soup, something unusual happened. The letters in the soup went up to Martha's brain instead of down to her stomach. That evening, Martha spoke. Isn't it time for my dinner? Whew! Martha's family had many questions to ask her. Of course, she had a lot to tell them. Have you always understood what we were saying? You bet. Do you want to know what Benji is really saying? Why don't you come when we call? You people are so bossy. Come, sit, stay. You never say please. What's all this nonsense about pit bulls? Do dogs dream? Day and night. This morning I dreamed about I was chasing a giant meatloaf. Why do you drink out of the toilet? Classic is not all that smart. Woof. Alphabet soup became a regular part of Martha's diet, and the family had a wonderful time surprising people. Walking the dog was always good for a laugh. Yo, Rinty, good dog, how's the flea problem? They ordered pizza from a distant restaurant every night. How much do I owe you? They taught Martha how to use the phone. But this was a mistake. Hello, Acme Meat Company? I'd like to make an order. Pretty soon, more than pizza was being delivered. But I didn't order any barbecue. Family and friends were amazed. Please pass the carcass. Want to go for a walk, Granny? Although they were those who doubted, there is no such thing as a talking dog. Martha always had the last word. Speak, Martha. Woof! Just kidding. But there was a problem. Now that Martha could talk, there was no stopping her. She said exactly what was on her mind. Why is that man so fat? She made embarrassing comments. Mom said that fruitcake you sent wasn't fit for a dog, but I thought it was delicious. And she always told the truth. Who did it? Helen did it. Occasionally, she wondered why her family was often mad at her. But she kept on talking. She talked through everyone's favorite TV shows. I've seen this program. Want me to tell you what happens? The giant reptile did it, and the little kitten gets blamed. But it's okay because Ninja Woman and Environment team up to save the little kitten, and of course the world and except her own. Martha is such a chatterbox in this book. She talked while they were trying to read. There's a poodle over on Circuit Street I'd really like to play with. He's small, but with a dog. And speaking of small, I'm sure you're all curious about the early days of my life. She talked and talked. I was born in a back alley to a poor but loving mother. Although she was a mixed breed, Mama was determined to raise us puppies right, to give us a solid background before we went out into the world at 8 weeks. Even before our eyes would open, Mama would say, "You're dogs, not cats. Don't even forget that. Blah, 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 blah." I still remember the rules Mama gave us to live by. Beware of 2-year-old humans with clothespins. 2. Under the table is the very best place to be during a meal. Never blah blah blah. Mistake your human's leg for a chill. Blah blah. That was used for my brothers, of course. And blah 4. If it's black and white and smells funny, blah blah blah. It's not a cat. Don't chase it. And while we are on the subject, I understand cat, but I can't speak it. Blah blah. Wait, where was I? Oh yes. And talked. Did you know that my mother gave me a name before you did? She named all of us puppies. I was 3. My sisters were 1, 6, and 7. My brothers were 2, 4, 5, and 8. I never did like 8 very much, but 6 was a lot of fun. Blah, blah, blah. I never forget my father's tale when I saw all his puppies. Boy, that's a lot of puppies, he said. What a funny dog. When I was 2, blah, 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 until our family could not stand it and said, Martha, please, shut up! What's wrong? Asked Martha. You talk too much, yelled Father. You never stop, yelled Mother. Sometimes, said Helen, I wish you had never learned to talk. Martha was crushed. The next day, Martha did not speak. She didn't ask for her dinner or to go out. She offered no opinions, but lay quietly beneath the kitchen table. At first, her family enjoyed the silence, but after a while, they became worried. What's the matter, Martha? Asked Helen. Martha didn't answer. Helen's father called the vet. There's something wrong with my dog, he said. She won't say a word. Is this some kind of a joke? Snapped the vet. Helen offered Martha bowl after bowl of alphabet soup, but Martha had lost her appetite for letters. Martha's family wondered if she would ever speak again. Then one evening, when her family was out, Martha heard the sound of glass breaking. A burglar, she gasped. I better call the police. She carefully dialed 911. But when she opened her mouth to speak, yep, what? Martha hadn't eaten a bowl of alphabet soup in days. Martha raced to the kitchen. She barked. Ruff, ruff. She growled. Grrr. She tried to look ferocious. The burglar wasn't frightened. He picked up a pot from the stove. Uh-oh, thought Martha. It's taps for sure. But to her surprise, the burglar put the pot down on the floor in front of her. Here, doggie, he said. Have something nice to eat. The burglar smiled as he closed Martha into the kitchen and went back to work. Dumb dog, he said. Lucky for me you like alphabet soup. When Martha's family returned, they found the police removing the burglar from their house. How did you know he was robbing our house? Asked Helen. We got a call at the station, said the officer. Some lady named Martha. Good dog, Martha, exclaimed her happy family. You're so right, said Martha. Now Martha eats a bowl of alphabet soup every day. She's learning what to say and when to say it. And sometimes she doesn't say anything at all, at least for a few minutes. The next story in the series is Martha Calling, but we're not going to read that right now. I'm going to log out of Internet Archive and leave because I don't want to get caught scared again. Anyways, this is the end of this story. If you enjoyed it, please sure like, comment, and subscribe for more fun story time.